This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. 5 teens are charged with a fiery death of homeless man. Commander of the Kingston Central Police, Superintendent Beresford Williams, has confirmed that 5 juveniles were charged on Wednesday for the brutal murder of a homeless man who was set ablaze on August 29. Lionel Johnson was pronounced dead at the Kingston Public Hospital as a result of injuries he sustained after being doused with a substance and lit near Heroes Circle. The news has learned that the investigation was aided by the use of closed-circuit television footage. The police said the suspects were picked up last week and are generally from the Fletcher's Land community. I know all of them are schoolers. I don't know if any of them are a member of any football clubs or football team, Superintendent Williams told the news. The teens, who range in age from 15 to 17, are scheduled for court on Friday. Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Desmond McKenzie, had condemned the murder of Johnson. A reward of $500,000 was offered for the arrest and the charge of those responsible. Johnson was well known to the Kingston and the St. Andrew Poor Relief Department, which regularly supported him with food and board at the night shelter on Church Street. St. James' Most Wanted Mutombo killed by police. Police have confirmed that a man listed as wanted was shot dead during a confrontation with members of the security force on Wednesday. The deceased has been identified as Shane Mutombo Earl. Police told the news that Earl was killed during an armed confrontation with members of CTOC during a targeted operation in Goshen, St. Elizabeth early yesterday evening. The man was wanted for 7 murders and was featured in this week's edition of the Jamaica Constabulary Force's Wanted Wednesday. It is said that an illegal firearm was retrieved from his person. Additionally, the police say a 14-year-old girl was rescued by the team during the confrontation. Man who lost a girlfriend over impotence wins $1 million in damages. A man who won a personal injury suit including $50,000 compensation for losing his girlfriend because of motor vehicle injuries that had left him impotent has scored another victory after the Court of Appeal increased his general damages award to $1 million. Orville Appleby, who had suffered injuries to his neck, back, and left knee, was in March 2015 awarded $773,544 in general damages by the Corporate Area Civil Court. He was also awarded interest on that sum of 3% per annum. Appleby had sued Paulette Richards, the owner of a motor vehicle in which he had sustained the injuries during a crash on October 4, 2009. A medical report which was accepted by the court said that Appleby had suffered multiple soft tissue injuries. The victim, who was a passenger, had testified that up to 2015, when the claim was being heard, he was still being affected by the injuries. He had explained that he could not stand for extended periods and that he had even suffered erectile dysfunction in about February 2014. But while contending that the disability had resulted in his girlfriend ending their relationship, Appleby, however, shared that the impotence was resolved and that he has since got married. Richards, on the other hand, was not satisfied with the outcome and appealed for damages, claiming that there was no medical evidence to support the judge's award. Her lawyer, Althea Wilkins, further argued that the judge had only relied on Appleby's say-so, which was insufficient in the circumstances. Wilkinson, while arguing that the judge had erred in awarding that sum, asked that the judge's award be set aside and an award of $250,000 be granted. Appleby, however, filed a counter-appeal, claiming that the judge had not sufficiently considered his oral testimony. The Court of Appeal, in response, refused the Richards' appeal, while Appleby's counter-appeal was allowed. The appellate judges indicated that it could not lower the award as the judge had not erred in principle. The learned parish court judge, in his reasons for judgment, did not erroneously state any applicable principle of law. He was entitled to rely on the case of Benjamin versus Ford due to similarities of the injuries, the Court of Appeal said in a recently published judgment. In respect to the counter-appeal, the court said there was merit in Appleby's complaint. The Court of Appeal judges highlighted that while the parish court judge had discounted the updated award of $1,026,309.07 to account for any distinguishing factors, there was no statement about those negative factors. It seems to us that the injuries were sufficiently similar to allow the updated award to stand and be only restricted by the limit to the jurisdiction of that court, which is $1 million, the judges said. In that regard, the learned parish court judge erred. They added, while noting that the appeal as a result should be dismissed. Attorney at law Debian Samuels represented Appleby. Guys Hill residents protest the injury of 2 men during alleged police chase. Residents of Waterford in Guys Hill, St. Catherine, on Wednesday evening mounted roadblocks in protest of the injury of 2 men during an incident allegedly involving the police. Residents felled trees and lit fires along the road to express their anger. The flames have since been put out by the Jamaica Fire Brigade. It's reported that the 2 men were aboard a motorcycle when they were signaled by the police to stop, but they disobeyed. They were reportedly pursued by the police into the Waterford community, where the driver lost the control of the motorbike and crashed. The driver and the pillion suffered varying injuries and were taken to hospital for treatment. The police have reportedly stepped up efforts to tackle breaches of the Road Traffic Act, with riders of motorcycles figuring prominently in the crackdown. Political hopeful pleads for new bridge after near-death tragedy. Karen Carty, councillor caretaker for the Frankfield Division, is appealing to Clarendon Northwestern Member of Parliament Philip Henriquez to do something about the 2 bridges that were washed away in the 2017 flood rains. The plea comes on the heels of a woman and a child being swept away, but were miraculously saved last Thursday while crossing the raging Riamino River in Southwood during heavy rains. We are appealing to the current MP to do something before something do us. Leave a trademark in Northwest Clarendon. You have been here for 2 years. If it is even one major project, carry it out, she urged. Carty, who said that she has been living in the community for about 42 years, complained that it is very frustrating being on the road and having to rush home whenever it threatens to rain in order to cross the river. Time after time when the river comes down, we have to sit for long hours before the river is drawn. It is very frustrating when you have to carry your clothes in your hand and put on your clothes at riverside and all them something there, she complained. However, Henriquez said that since taking over in late 2020, he has been representing like crazy. Pointing out that the bridge was washed away while Richard Azan was the MP, he said he immediately began advocating for a new bridge for the community after winning the election. I have had countless meetings with Minister Everett Warmington and the National Works Agency about the state of the bridge, he said. Henriquez also disclosed that he has had several meetings over the past 6 months with residents, including Carty, regarding the bridge. He insisted that almost every week he has been making representation on the issue. This year, Mr. Warmington came out in Parliament in his budget speech and said that he would be making it a priority, he told the news. He noted that the allocation of funds for the projects is out of his hands. This is not an issue about me not representing. I have been representing like crazy, he said. Councillor for the Frankfield Division, Clive Mundell, who empathized with the residents' plight, is also calling for the matter to be addressed. Referring to the situation as a disgrace, he said it doesn't matter which government is in power, because at the end of the day, the people of Southwood, that's where they live. They don't have any choice. They have to get home, and they have to come out to do their business and have to go back home. That's the only way they can use to go home, he said. It's from 2017, so it's 5 years now, and it don't matter which government in power. You must can put up a bridge, even a walk-foot bridge, in 5 years, he added. The bridge serves 4 communities: Campbell Hill, Damhead, Trout Hall Pass, and the top and bottom Southwood. Businessman charged following altercation in St. Anne. A 54-year-old business operator in St. Anne was arrested and charged after he allegedly stabbed a man with a knife and bit off a piece of his ear during an altercation in Limehall in the parish. He has been identified as Robert Webb, a small business operator from the Limehall community. According to the police, on September 9, Webb walked up to a man and used a knife to stab him in the left side and the left hand. The victim managed to grab onto the knife, after which Webb allegedly bit off a piece of his ear before escaping in the area. Webb was pointed out on October 3 by the victim, who was subsequently charged with wounding with intent. His court date is being finalized. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.